Welcome back to Social Work in the Trenches. Today's episode a little different. This is my first solo Notes from the Field segment. Usually, this podcast includes conversation with other social workers, but sometimes there are weeks when we are not able to record together. So I wanted to create a space for shorter educational reflections, a space to slow down, think about what we see in the field, and talk about the parts of social work that do not always fit neatly into forms, service plans, or checklists. This segment is for educational and reflection purposes only. Any examples shared are fictionalized or blended to protect privacy and to highlight common themes in social work practice. Today, I want to talk about relationship based care because relationship based care is the cornerstone of our interactions. It's not something extra we add after the paperwork, after the assessment, or after the referral. It is a foundation that shapes how we enter the conversation, how we listen, how we ask questions, and how we understand the person in front of us. And sometimes the best way to understand that is through a story. Imagine a woman caring for her husband after a stroke. At first, if we only look at the situation through a checklist, her needs may sound practical: transportation to appointments, help understanding medications, support with paperwork, maybe home care. And those needs are real, they matter. But relationship based care asks us not to stop there. It asks us to slow down enough to wonder what else is happening in her life. Because underneath those practical needs, there may be a much deeper story. She's grieving the life they had before. She misses the ordinary things like morning coffee together, making small conversations that used to feel normal. She's exhausted from becoming not only a wife, but also a caregiver, advocate, organizer, financial planner, and emotional support for everyone around her. She is worried about money because she had to reduce her work hours. She's afraid to admit how tired she is because she does not want anyone to think she does not love her husband. So, this is where relationship based care begins to work. Not by rushing in with answers, not by treating her as a task list, not by reducing her life to transportation, medication, and referrals. Instead, it starts by creating the right kind of space where the meeting does not feel rushed, where our role does not feel like an enemy. Person does not feel judged, tested, or afraid to say the wrong thing. It starts with sitting down, slowing the room down, letting the person feel that we are not there to take over, criticize, or reduce their life to reform. We are there to listen. We are there to understand and to walk alongside them. So, if this caregiver relationship based care might sound different, instead of only asking, do you need home care? We ask, what has changed in your life since the stroke? Instead of only asking, do you have transportation? We ask, what part of your week feels hardest to manage? Instead of only asking, who helps you? We ask, who supports you and who depends on you? Instead of only asking, are you coping? We ask, what are you carrying that others may not see? And instead of assuming we know what dignity means for her, we ask, what does dignity look like for you right now? And that's the difference. A checklist may identify a service, but a relationship based conversation helps us understand the life around the service. It helps us hear the grief behind the paperwork, the fear behind the request, the exhaustion behind the smile, the identity change behind the caregiving role. And once we understand more of the person's life, our support can become more human, more respectful, and more useful. Because the goal is not only to complete an assessment, the goal is to see the whole person. A person is never just a diagnosis, never just a caregiver, never just a client, patient, or a case. They are human being with a story, responsibilities, fears, hopes, losses, and strengths. So when I think about woman caring for her husband after a stroke, I do not only think about what service she might need. I think about what life is asking of her. I think about what she has lost and what she is carrying and what she is afraid to say out loud and what kind of support would help her feel less alone. Sometimes the better question is not, what service do you need? Sometimes the better question is, what is life asking of you right now? And how can we help you carrying it? Thank you for listening to Social Work in the Trenches. If this reflection spoke to you, or maybe you think about the work or assistance you want to receive in a different way, please share this episode with someone who may find it meaningful. And if you have not already, please subscribe to Social Work in the Trenches so you don't miss future conversations and future notes from the field segments. Until next time, let's keep making space for the whole person, not just the problem in front of us.